Well, here I am at Kangaroo Point, pondering, thinking, staying optimistic, staying motivated, all those big words. It's time to put them into practice. This week, the government, due to the coronavirus, has announced the closing of all gyms by midday, along with other businesses. But obviously I'm in the field of health and fitness, so this affects me and my colleagues, obviously, and many others. And so this is where knowing that you're more than what you've become, you're more than what happens to you, needs to be put in practice. And you have to action out knowing that you're more than what you've become, you're more than what happens to you. The belief system is tested right now. And I'm very well conditioned, I believe, to withstand times like this. You go through enough things in life, and at some point you realize that you know where to turn to. You know how to go into here and pick the conversation to have at times like this. So for me, it's simply, where to now, Gideon? Where to now? The quote that comes to mind for me right now is, life is what happens to you. What you do about it is living. So how am I going to live now? What am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about the idea that I can't go to my workplace and earn the next dollar? What are my other revenues? There's the proposal that I can, approach my clients and see if they want me to come do one-on-one with them. And if that falls through, where to now? Got to take each day one step at a time. Not to overthink the future and presuppose it, predict it. No. Where am I right now, and what am I to do? You are more than what you have become. You're more than what happens to you. Yo!
What's cracking?
Nah, not much, man. Hold up.
So, what would have to happen is to test that. Try going to the Microsoft, click on that.
Yeah, it's on. Oh, shit!
What? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, leave it there. As in pointing at you.
Yeah.
Gotta stand back down and do some exercise. Okay, so yeah, it works.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Gideon here, and thanks for tuning in. Now, I want to kick things off this episode with the conversation around the mind, and more specifically, the mindset. The mind. I want to talk about how powerful the mind is and how it plays a major factor on the outcome of your life, and how you can be in control and start to dictate the outcome of your life, especially if you've been left to be confined, or been left, to be in a confined situation for far too long. How you can still maintain the power of the mind and not be deteriorated nor discouraged by circumstances that are taking place around you. Now, I want to talk about the mindset. We're going to go into a bit of a wordplay to simplify things, so the wordplay that I'm about to use is not necessarily how it's been defined, but I use it to simplify the conversation that we're about to have. So mindset, what does mindset actually mean? For me, I just divide the words in two. There's the mind and something's been set. So for me, and excuse me for using a red pen, My other pen has died, so it is what it is. Stay with me on this one. So what's actually been set in the mind? Let's look at the set aspect of things. So prior to engaging in anything, we all know that it all starts from the mind. Now let's look at the steps that take place. The first step that actually takes place is the conversation. You converse with yourself. Not in an insane way, but you have a conversation with yourself. So for instance, if you're about to approach someone in a club or at a bar, a conversation takes place prior to you, taking a step forward. Or if you're about to put a down payment on a house or purchase that car, you have a conversation with yourself. Now that conversation, once concluded, it leads to the next step, which is the belief. However you see that belief is up to you. Whether you believe you're worthy enough to approach this person, or you believe that the money invested into this car is worth it, or to the house, whatever it is, that belief system is totally up to you based on the conclusion of your conversation. Now with the belief, if the belief is powerful enough, it will have an impact and play a significant role to take in the last step, which is action. Action ultimately is how you live your life, how you define your life, however you want to put it. Action is the last step, and it all starts with the mind being set to that conversation being concluded to however you conclude it. No one can tell you how you conclude that conversation. It's used often based on your personal desired outcome. From the conversation, we move into the belief, and determining on how powerful that belief is, and again, the desired outcome of your wants, it will lead you to the action. Now, what I want to talk about is the mind and how powerful it is. You see, often we may not be put in a position to have a conversation, an ultimatum where we can converse to have a favorable outcome. We might be put in a position where we are confined and limited to our ability to express yourself. This is a perfect time to start to have a self-conversation with yourself and start to build a self-empowered belief and take action upon self. Now, because I'm in the health and fitness industry, I'd like to use this example, and especially for a time as now. If you're watching this video 10 years from now, I'm talking about the isolation of coronavirus. Mindset in a time like this, being locked up in your own house, sorry, not being locked up, but being limited to going outdoors. What conversation are you having with yourself? Are you having conversations in a negative manner that serve you no purpose? What conversation are you having with yourself? My advice would be proactive, be innovative with the conversation. Know that the circumstances has been placed upon you. What are you going to do about it? That's the first point of conversation. What are you going to do about it? Life is what happens to you. Living is what you do about it. Start with the conversation. Okay, this is my circumstances. This is what I've been dealt with. What am I going to do about it? After you've had that conversation and concluded it definitively what you're going to do about it, hopefully a progressive manner for yourself, a beneficial manner, you go to your belief system. You believe that this is going to be for your growth, for your benefit, to stay empowered, to stay sharp. What is your belief system now? Again, I advise that you put that belief system favorable for your growth, for your benefit. After the belief system, we're going to taking action. What action are you going to take right now? It doesn't have to be rebellious. You don't have to go against the system or go against the circumstance. It's about you. It's about you. And ultimately, if you can converse with yourself innovatively away from the circumstances, you don't have to go against the circumstances. If you can create a belief system in the midst of those circumstances and take action for your growth, my friends, believe me when I tell you this, your mindset will develop a belief system that will help you realize that you are more powerful than you've become. You are more than what happens to you. Now, with that being said, and me being in the health and fitness industry, I'd like to empower and encourage individuals in times like this. Please have a conversation about exercise, about the food that you eat, about the people that you're around. We know, sometimes we can be overwhelmed with the presence of our family, our partners, whatever it is. It's times like this when we need to converse with ourselves and with our partners and whatever it is for your growth, for your benefit, for love, just to be nourished. The belief system, understand that you're not a victim of the circumstance, all right? Create the belief that regardless of what happens to you, you always have the ability to create something within you. And lastly, action. Please take action in doing the exercises, eating the right foods, and sharing toilet paper. Again, 10 years from now, you probably don't understand what I'm saying, but I'll just tell you right now, toilet paper has been sold. But anyway, guys, mindset. Converse with yourself for the reasons of moving forward, being innovative and being empowered. Belief, create a belief at the end of your conversation that favors your growth and reminds you that you're more than what you've become, you're more than what happens to you. And take action rightfully for your growth once again, guys. And that way, your mindset from there on in will be sharp, wise, powerful, and you will now know that you are more than what you've become, you're more than what happens to you. I'm sitting here on this glorious Saturday, reminiscing about the good times of training people in the gym and my clients, and starting to miss them a little bit. I am, and it's kicked in, the reality of shutting gyms down. This is week 1 without the gym, and again, as I said earlier in the week, it's about mindset. I've still got to remain optimistic and innovative and positive, because when this all passes over, who will I be? Will I be the victim of the circumstances, or will I be, who I'm destined to be? Will I be more? So I'm sitting here just doing a bit of reminiscing and thinking about the good times at the gym, and some of the clients that are trained outdoors and stuff like that. And so it's a little reminder. Make the most of your situations. You never know what circumstances can come up and that end it all. So I'll wrap it up this week by saying, guys, just to remember, don't let circumstances define you into becoming the victim. You define the circumstances by becoming the victor, by doing something about it. And there is always something that can be done, because you are more than what you have become. You are more than what happens to you. So I'm going to end this week off with a little highlight of my little mind going down memory lane. Just to remember, you are more.